Will Wang Yibo's character really kick the bucket in this movie? We don't know yet. Chung-ar, the director, writes his own scripts, so we don't have source material to refer to for the answer. But I, your faithful butter, seen here in one of those old-timey tourist photos that you can have taken in Shanghai to make you seem like you lived in the Republican era, do I look genuine? Have analyzed director Chung-ar's previous 2 movies, and from them made a list of 5 reasons each for why Yibo's character, Yimi, won't survive and why he will live. Watch and tell me which side you believe. There are major spoilers for both movies, so skip to the end if you plan on watching these movies blind. Let's go. Reasons Yimi won't survive. Number 1. Not afraid to knock him off. Chung-ar's movies are well known for their extraordinary cinematography. The framing, colors, and textures elevate his work above many others. What I found also sets Chung-ar's movies apart is his willingness to knock off just about everyone. Things may be trucking along pleasantly in his movie, and then bam, suddenly 10 people are bleeding out on the floor. He also eliminates characters that the viewers thought might be important to the plot. Take the history of romantic demise, or its English title, The Wasted Times. In the first 37 minutes of the movie, between 15 to 21 characters are out of commission. The range is because sometimes there's just a bunch of bodies I can't count. By the end of The Wasted Times, there are 25 bodies in total, and many of these aren't background extras, they're characters with speaking lines whom we followed through the movie. In Frontier Borderlands, English name Lethal Hostage, I counted 14 bodies, though even that number could be higher. Chung-ar isn't afraid to pull the trigger. Number 2. No one is safe. Chung-ar doesn't discriminate when it comes to the characters he eliminates. A Hollywood example of this is a famous opening scene from The Untouchables. This shocked moviegoers at the time. It told audiences that anyone could be hurt in the movie. In a Chung-ar film, traditionally good or harmless characters like women and children, and I'm speaking in general terms here, are not a protected class, which means that other, also good characters, for example if Yimi turns out to be good, aren't guaranteed to survive either. Chung-ar doesn't hesitate to knock off these characters, such as the police character in Lethal Hostage, who heroically saves his sister from a brutal drug trafficker only to be shot dead later. And in The Wasted Times, a teenager who has done nothing to anyone is eliminated as revenge against the villain. Chung-ar is telling us that nothing is guaranteed in life, even for the so-called good or innocent people, and that brings tension. Number 3. War is bad. The setting of Hidden Blade is problematic if you want characters to live. It seems to be set right before the war came to Shanghai or in the midst of it. So with war comes death and suffering. In war films, the audience needs a hero or several heroes to provide them with hope that good will prevail over their enemy. But heroes can't exist in a vacuum. You don't need a hero if everyone lives, and you're not a hero if you had nothing to lose. Risking loss is what makes the actions heroic, so we should anticipate some would-be heroes who don't make it. Yimi could be one of them. Number 4. Tragedy is impactful. Chung-ar likes to shock, as I mentioned. He's also not afraid of portraying suffering, like Zhang Ziyi enduring years of abuse, and in Lethal Hostage, where a character, on the verge of finding happiness, has it taken from her by her own father. So I think Chung-ar doesn't shy from tragedy, and the story of a secret hero like Yimi, who dies as a traitor and is never discovered to have been a hero, is certainly possible. It would give him the impact he likes, but it would just be awful. Number 5. Revenge is sweet. Chung-ar likes revenge. In The Wasted Times, Zhang Ziyi's character gets revenge at the end. In Lethal Hostage, the quietly suffering father, who endured prison and the kidnapping and converting of his own daughter, gets revenge against the man who did these things to him. So in Hidden Blade, Tony Leung's character, Mr. He, may be wronged by Yimi the traitor and would get his revenge in the end by putting a bullet in him. Reasons Yimi lives. Number 1. Redemption arc. The actions Yimi takes while undercover may seem bad, but they may be for a noble purpose, so that he redeems himself in the end, thus winning his right to live. This is the most straightforward reason he survives. However, to me, this seems more Chang'ar's speed. Nothing is as obvious or straightforward as it seems, especially since the promos for this movie have shown us how much he enjoys secrecy and mystery. The good guys could, in a twist, turn out to be bad, or at least bad by their inactions. And then the seemingly bad character of Yimi takes them down in a reversal of all the previous impressions about who was good and bad in the movie. This would set up Yimi to be victorious. Victory results in, or is accompanied by, survival of the hero. Number 2. Yibo equals money. Yibo is a major audience draw. As much as we fans want to focus on Yibo's considerable acting skills, we should also acknowledge that Yibo will put lots of butts in seats. That means commercial success for Chang'ar. If he keeps Yimi alive to the end, it will lead to more repeat viewings. Sure, lots of people enjoy sad or tragic endings, but many more people like happy endings. So if Yimi lives, it leaves a pleasant taste which many moviegoers will want to experience again and again. Number 3. Out with the old, in with the new. In a wider scope of viewing, Yimi is young and represents the future of China. Tony's character, Mr. He, might represent the old guard, and an attitude which needs to be relegated to the pre-war past. As China frees itself from the shackles of Japanese occupation, it metaphorically sheds its old, unwanted ways of thinking too. For this reason, Yimi, courageous and smart, may live in order to offer inspiration and encouragement to the next generation, while Mr. He martyrs himself to make way for the youth and future of China that Yimi represents. Number 4. Revenge again. Remember what I said about Chang'ar liking revenge? What if the revenge in Hidden Blade isn't something for Mr. He to obtain, but for Yimi to obtain? Take this scene of Yimi after he's been beaten up. What if he was set up by Mr. He, perhaps betrayed to the Japanese for being an undercover agent? There have been rumors that Yimi is imprisoned. Maybe that didn't happen because he was discovered, but because someone ratted him out. If that's the case, Yimi needs to live to obtain the satisfying revenge that Chang'ar seems to favor in his movies. Number 5. The trailers are lying. The possible revenge I mentioned in number 4 is tied to the presumption that the trailers are misleading us. There haven't been a lot of promos released, but in those that we've seen, Mr. He is presented in one of 2 ways: mysterious and suffering from angst, or a kindly smiling dad type. Well, what if he's angsting because the kind dad act is just that? He's actually the bad guy. Or at least he's directing or pressuring Yimi to do bad things on his behalf. This could tie into the revenge theme, where Yimi finally learns that he and us have been deceived and he's been risking his life for the wrong reasons. Or he's been going along with shady stuff on Mr. He's behalf, but reaches his limits and understands that it's bad. This may be why the 2 of them have a physical fight. It may be the reason Yimi lives. He's actually the hero, despite being portrayed as the villain. The verdict? My gut feeling tells me Yimi lives, but he faces a hard, rough road to that survival. Chang'ar doesn't want perfect characters. He wants real characters who have endured and overcome through their own strength. Lots of footage so far shows Yimi going through the ringer, which in Chang'ar's mind may indicate he deserves to survive. But this is all speculation. We have too little information at the time of this video to come up with a concrete theory. And after the movie, this video will be fun to watch to see how much I got wrong. If you're able to purchase tickets for Hidden Blade, please do so. And try, if you can, to pester the theaters in your country to bring Hidden Blade to you. Please subscribe and hit notifications so that you can see my next video when it comes out. Good luck to Yibo and Hidden Blade.